There is Blade Edge. Yes, 2600. He has piercing. He can deal damage when you're in defense mode. That's so busted, right? Hey guys, it's Aremia, and really quick, we're just gonna jump in. We're playing in the tryout duel event, and gotta play the old elemental heroes. I played this deck so much when I was a kid, so that's what we're gonna do. Let's jump right in. All right, tryout duel event, playing with heroes and Neospatians, just like the good old days. So they go 1 for 1, summon out a Cosmic Compass and pass turn. Alright, let's speed this up. So we go E Emergency Call, grab Burstinatrix like an idiot, because I thought Rampart Blaster was Burstinatrix and Bubbleman. But it is not. It is Burstinatrix and Clayman. I'll show you which card I'm talking about. This guy. I thought just sitting on this for 8 turns in a row would probably just get us there, but anyway, so they're playing the Synchron deck, obviously. Junk Synchron. Swing over. We have called Call the Haunted and Negate Attack. So a Bubble Man swings over their Cosmic Compass. Alrighty. And so Speed Warrior up to Junk Warrior. So we're kind of in trouble here. And for several turns, we actually just pass, basically. We just keep setting defense cards so we don't die. So I'll probably skip forward a little bit. Yeah, so as you can see, they kind of just keep swinging at us, and luckily they're only drawing into tuners, so we can take the opportunity to destroy their one non-tuner a couple times and kind of stall out the game a little bit, because we do have this Miracle Contact in our hand that maybe we can play eventually. Yeah? Oh, okay. You got my headphones, bud. Okay. I don't need to hear game audio, that's fine. Oh, you got a good grip on him there. Oh, here's Wing Karibo. Protect me. Alright, Sparkman, swing over the Doppel Warrior. Okay, and that is a card that exists, I guess. So they summon back the Doppel Warrior. Set, okay. Well, we're just gonna take a bunch of damage. But we can summon back Sparkman. Okay, 34 to 72 is not great, but Cross Porter. Cross Porter is the secret. When Cross Porter is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, or just sent to the graveyard, I guess, you can search a Neospatian from your deck. So it's turn 17, just like the good old days. They go Formula Synchron. I feel like the other two decks are way better than the Elemental Hero deck. That's just me. But we gotta play Elemental Heroes. Because this is my childhood deck, man. This is almost exactly my childhood deck. So we do manage to search Neospatian Grand Mole, which is a really good card. It was limited to 1 for a long time, I think. So we go Miracle Contact, actually. And we find... And we managed to get into Magma Neos, which is a super strong card. And we swing in, deal a ton of damage. And if I were a smart individual, when this chained, I would have activated Call the Haunted, summon back my Sparkman, and then you'll see what happens here. When Magma Neos gets shuffled back into the deck, he returns everything on board to hand. So I actually would have returned both the Call of the Haunted and the Sparkman back to my hand. But I wasn't thinking that far ahead. But anyway, we are back in the game. We managed to totally reset the board. And we still have some good cards. And Card Trooper, holy crap. This card was so good back in the day. It was so incredibly strong. Like, it basically turns into a 1900, which for a normal summon was really, really good. And when it gets destroyed, you draw a card. That's so good. That's so good. On top of like milling you for 3, which self-mill is pretty good. And speaking of which, Prisma. Prisma is so amazing. Oh, I played this card so much. So we summon Prisma, reveal a Neos Fusion, send our Elemental Hero Neos, and we can actually win the game here. Because we foolished our Neos, we can special summon it back with Monster Reborn, and we have just enough damage to swing and kill them here. So 22 turns, we are actually playing the game. GG's. Man, this event is so much fun. Yeah? Alright. Heroes. Tryout duel event. Up against Utopia. Yeah, I feel like the Utopia deck is like probably the best one, like hands down the best one, and that's a lot. I don't know how we're gonna deal with 4,500, but set cross border past turn. Well, there is one way in our deck that we can deal with a 4,500, and his name is Grand Mole. Oh, good old Grand Mole. I had an Exod Rock Bounce deck when I was a kid, like from the structure deck, and it was the most annoying to play against. So Grand Mole, if you don't know, when he battles, he can bounce both targets back to the hand, which is really, really strong. So instead of fighting that scary 4,500, we just return it to the deck, and most importantly, their one copy of Utopia, I think. I haven't actually even looked at the deck list for these at all. I just saw the hero one and I was like, I'm gonna play heroes because normal heroes was my childhood. But I think they only have the one copy of Utopia, and that is now in their graveyard, so I'm not nearly as scared as I was. And the 4,500 is no longer on board, so they only have a few cards, and we have all of these cards, which admittedly most of them don't do all that much, but that's okay. So we pass turn, and we discard the hand size. Don't need a Dark Panther. And we also have Miracle Contact in the deck, so maybe we can still use it. Necro Shade, that is dead draw. And so this is like the toughest card to go up against with this deck is Swordsman of Revealing Light. So we summon Wildheart because he's unaffected by trap cards. So the strategy back in the day was to have Torrential Tribute, summon Wildheart, and activate Torrential Tribute to wipe all monsters except Wildheart because he's unaffected by trap cards. And I thought that was like the sickest play when I was a kid. I was like, oh my goodness, I can get around the downside of Torrential Tribute? This is so cool. Anyway, so Swordsman of Revealing Light summons itself and destroys our monster, which is pretty good. This is actually a kind of a fun card. Anyway, yeah, they can summon some cards, I guess. They don't swing in, but it's only 100 damage, so who cares? So we do draw Miracle Contact. Grand Mole swings over whatever that was. And pass turn. So at least the Swordsman doesn't have any attack, so that does make it easy. Well, now it has attack. And I could have bounced them both back to hand, but why would I do that? They would just be able to activate Swordsman again and then destroy another card. So I sadly am going to let the Grand Mole go. Kind of just have to deal with it. We draw Hero Blast, which I don't think I ever played when I was a kid. But I actually take the turn off because I don't think they're going to be able to kill me. Obviously, I still have almost all of my life points. And that is going to let me discard the hand size. So I'm going to discard our Necro Shade, and he lets us normal summon a level 5 or higher elemental hero without tributing, which is really good. So usually we try to pitch him to the graveyard, you know, without taking our turn off, but that's okay. This is a pretty slow format, which is really fun too. So Emergency Call, obviously gonna grab Prisma and send a Neos, and they have a card that flips it into defense mode, so we can't attack, which is fine. The main point is to send one of our E-heroes to the graveyard. And I make a mistake here. So I use Hero Barrier, which the way I read it was any opponent's attack that takes place while you control an elemental hero monster is negated. And then I clearly did not read the last few words, but this effect only works once. So I negate their attack and they double or nothing and then swing over the Prisma anyway, when I totally could have destroyed their card with Hero Blast. You can add back a normal hero, obviously our Neos, and then destroy one of their monsters with attack less than that monster's attack. So I could have saved my Prisma here and that would have been really good, but you know, Yu-Gi-Oh players still don't read, and I am a Yu-Gi-Oh player. So we lose probably the best hero in the deck is Prisma. There's Air Hummingbird, but we of course don't have Air Neos, and I activate Hero Blast a little late and destroy their Swordsman. We use Necro Shade to normal summon Neos without tributing, which is pretty cool. Swing over their monster, and now they're pretty much out of options. Out of chakra and out of options. So they pass turn. Alright, we are going to draw into Flute of Summoning Karibo. Whee! Avion, get in there! Yeah! Normal 1000 attack monster, yes, get in there. I just want Poly so I can go for Flame Wingman, but no such luck. No such luck. Aqua Dolphin, okay. But that is game. We have Avion, Burstentrix, and Nails. Yes! Alright, let's go. Oh, kiddo. Okay, you gonna release my headphones? No? Okay, that's fine. Alright, draw phase. We are going second. And they play Card D. Draw 2. Alright. We draw into Miracle Contact. But we have a really stacked hand because we can bring back our card trooper, so he draws multiple cards, mills multiple cards, becomes a 1900. This card is so good. Like in the old days, obviously, that's like the entire video is me saying, "Oh man, back then it was so good," and you guys are probably like, "Oh, Remia, you're so old." Okay, but we do manage to mill Neos, which is really strong because we have this Miracle Contact. Swing in, deal 19, and they go Goblinberg, Kage Tokage, and Gagaga Mancer. So Utopia, obviously going to kill Card Trooper, but I want to draw a card. That seems good to me. So we go Clayman. And we can activate Battle of Sleeping Spirits to summon it back because it was destroyed by battle. We draw a Bubble Man. It's not going to do a whole lot. And we mill Poly and E-Emergency Call, which is rough. That is that is pretty bad. Again, I didn't actually look at the deck list while I was playing, so I had no idea if this was 1 copy or 2 copies, but probably just the one, just because it seems like that kind of format. And Utopia, of course, is going to negate our attack, and we kind of just pass turn. All right. So they play Rank Up Magic Numeron Force, and they play Victory. So I actually have an ultimate rare First Ed of Victory for my numbers collection, and it's a pretty cool card. It looks pretty sick. Anyway, that's enough of me bragging. So Victory has some neat effects. It's kind of like an Ancient Gear monster, so we can't activate cards during the battle step when it attacks, and it can negate an opponent's monster and gain attack equal to their attack. Cool. So, obviously, we are going to get attacked here quite a bit. Samurai targets itself, lets it swing twice. So there is Card Trooper, draws us a card, and haha! You weren't expecting my Clayman in defense mode. Such a dork. All right. Well, they are able to kill Clayman, which is fine. Hey, bud, you okay? All right, but we did manage to draw into Prisma, which obviously really, really good. Probably one of the best cards in this entire deck. So Prisma sends Grand Mole to the graveyard, but then we're actually going to shuffle it back. So we have Neos and Grand Mole. So we're going to Miracle Contact out for Elemental Hero Grand Neos. Neos is going to bounce back the Victory, so it returns to the deck, and their Utopia goes to the graveyard, so they won't be able to summon it, at least very easily. So we can swing over their stuff. And we're feeling really good. Grand Neos gets shuffled back, but that's fine. That's fine. Prisma is plenty for us. Because we can just send Neos again. And they activate a card that I had not seen before. This is Swords of Burning Light, which is like a weird version of Swords of Revealing Light, I guess. So while they control no monsters, we cannot attack them. And if we have 5 or more cards in our hand, we destroy this card. So what you'll see here is over the next couple turns, I actually just straight pass, just so I can draw cards and maybe eventually destroy it. Plus what I'm drawing is like a glow moss, so it's like basically worthless. So we send in Neos just to get more stuff in the graveyard. We do still have Call of the Haunted, so we're feeling pretty good. And they pass turn 2 because if they summon a monster, that also destroys their swords. And we send Necroshade to the graveyard, just in case we end up drawing a high-level elemental hero. We could set this Hero Blast, but again, I want to get up to 5 cards so we can swing in and try to win the game. So pass turn. And they know, so they know we're going to draw a card on our next turn, go up to 5, and that would get destroyed, so they just summon monsters. They go up to number 17, Leviathan Dragon. This was the first number monster that we saw in Zexal, if you guys watch Zexal. I actually like it. I think it's fun. It is a little more kiddie, but yeah, it's okay. Yugioh is just cool. Anyway, so Leviathan Dragon is going to detach and then gain 500 attack. Cool, cool. They're going to summon back some Gaga monsters. And they do not attack, which I think is actually kind of funny. So they are pretty scared of my face downs, which in this format, I don't know why you would be scared of my face downs. I would have just saved my Prisma with Hero Barrier, but it's fine. It's fine. It doesn't really matter. So we have 5 cards. Prisma is going to reveal our Elemental Hero Wild Edge, which I have a misprint from when I was a kid that says Elemental Hero Wild Heart plus Elemental Hero Blade Man, I think it was. I think it's Blade Man. I don't know. I'll try to throw a picture up on screen. But I always thought it was really funny because it wasn't Blade Edge, right? It wasn't the right name. Anyway, so we do send Blade Edge to the graveyard. And fun fact, this was my first foil that I ever got. My first Yu-Gi-Oh box was like one of the starter decks back from GX. And because of that, there's a special place in my heart for Blade Edge. I love this card. He's so cool. Anyway, so we are going to send Blade Edge to the graveyard and then bring him back with Call of the Haunted. That way we can swing over this scary 2500 attack monster. There is Blade Edge. Yes, 2600. He has piercing. He can deal damage when you're in defense mode. That's so busted, right? Oh my goodness. Anyway, so they don't have a lot that they can do here. And they scoop it up. Blade Edge for the win! Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I had a lot of fun with this event. It was really fun going back to like all the old cards that I used to play, like all the other crappy Neospatians, and also like Grand Mole, which was really good in just about any deck for a while there. And then of course Blade Edge. I'm really glad that I got to play Blade Edge because he's so cool. Look at him. Anyway, this is just gonna be a quick one. So have a great day, and I will see you guys next time.